What's up, Three Black Guys with the Mic fam? This episode is powered by BWP Marketing and Hype Voice Creative. If you want to support the show, we would really appreciate that. Head over to our YouTube channel and click the subscribe button. Also, head over to SoundCloud.com/Three Black Guys with the Mic and subscribe to our SoundCloud channel. And don't forget to rate and review us on iTunes or wherever you get this podcast. And if you want to support us financially, it's all good. Drop something in our Cash App at Three Black Guys Mic. And now, let's start the show.
First of all, let me tell you something. Lamont is just full of shit.
Sometimes my mama said, you know, when you don't have nothing nice to say, you should be quiet.
People say that Stephen A. is a coon. You agree with that? Everybody got quiet on that one, okay? Go ahead.
Rudy Giuliani practices voodoo. So he put a voodoo hex on my girl, Hillary, and that's why she got woozy. And the Secret Service had to prop her up and put her in the van.
But take us to a break, my dude.
It was voodoo, son.
I don't know about that voodoo.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is Three Black Guys with a Mic.
Really good. What is happening? What is good? Lamont, what is happening, my brethren?
I was getting my OnlyFans page together. Give me one second.
Whoa.
I just got off the other site real quick.
You got an OnlyFans page?
Yeah. You don't know about the OnlyFans, Maynard?
I'm a little lost on OnlyFans, sir.
OnlyFans is the new thing. Like you log on, onlyfans.com/Lamont G. Hayes. And you know, you get some premium content. You know what I mean? Just depends on
premium content of what genre, sir?
I don't want to know.
What you mean?
I don't want to know. Yeah, I'm good on that. I mean, you know, any premium content that you have that involves you taking off your shirt.
I didn't say anything about taking off my shirt. I just said it was premium content.
Is it an all tops down type of content?
I didn't say that either. It's only for my fans, and it's just premium content. You know what I'm saying? You got to pay $12.99 a month.
We paying to see your premium content.
Yes.
So it is all tops down. All tops down.
All tops down.
Welcome to Three Black Guys with the Mic, the podcast for politics, hip hop, and the urban community. I am Spud with Lamont Hayes and my man Maynard Scales. This week we're going to talk about a couple of things. We're going to talk about, of course, Ahmad Arbery. We got to talk about police shootings. We got to talk about racism. We're also going to talk about black folks owning guns in America. And we're also going to talk about sports in 2020. Where are we at when it comes to sports in 2020? In the meantime, make sure you do us a favor. Go to our SoundCloud channel. Go to SoundCloud.com/Three Black Guys with the Mic. Make sure you subscribe, rate, and review. Also rate and review on iTunes. Plus, when you go to YouTube, click the subscribe button. Take your finger and go, and click the subscribe button. And give us one of these, a thumbs up, as well as on YouTube and on Facebook. So make sure you give us a thumbs up so that way we can continue to grow the podcast. We can continue to let people know where we are. If you want to support us financially, you can do that. Go to our Cash App at Cash App/Three Black Guys Mic.
Can they just go to my Cash App only?
No. This is a collective unit. This is an incorporation. This is not, an individual. This is not a sole propriety.
So no, we can't pub my OnlyFans?
No OnlyFans. Not on this one.
All right, brother. Okay, we good.
Is that can we do Lamont? Can we get some money off of Lamont's OnlyFans in the Three Black Guys with a Mic After Dark?
You know what, Maynard? Thank you. I need that, brother.
Three Black Guys with a Mic Uncut.
We need that.
Where do we start, man? There's just so much. There's so much to, start. I guess let's start on a happy note. So, who won between Jill Scott and Erykah Badu? Did you guys watch?
I watched. I gotta say I watched. But I can tell you, I think it wasn't them. I think that whole thing is tired.
The battles?
Yeah, the battles. I'm over it.
Really?
I'm over it.
The problem I had was it's too long. It's 3 hours. I mean, I think there needs to be a program director to come through and be like, look, each person got 30 seconds on a song. Play the hooks, play the song that we like, and let's keep it moving. Like all of the being on there for me, when I saw it, the best thing was the last 30 minutes when Erykah Badu finally got kicked off and she froze. But that's when the best songs came on. Before then, I was like, yo.
What you think, Lamont?
Well, let me just say this, because some of this is personal, and I will share it with you guys and people that pay attention to the podcast. I'll put a call in.
Hold on for a second. Hold on, Lamont, because the people don't know. When Lamont says some of this is personal, I mean somehow he's getting a check.
Right. We didn't get any of that. That's premium content for you right there. That's the premium content.
No, here's what I'll say, and I said this to one of the OGs or whatever about it, is that when you ask who won, I think black music won. I think music won. I think statistically, and this is what I was given this morning, that versus actually did more viewership than the last MTV Music Awards, period, point blank. So the viewership is there. It's showcasing that people do want to hear real music, that they are interested in the music. But I do personally have an issue with the platform of it being on Instagram. I don't want to sit there and play with my phone like that. I think that kind of music needs to be heard. And you can't hear that through an iPhone or Samsung or whatever it is on your mobile device. You know what I mean? But at the same time, we are in a COVID-19 environment. And it is good for music overall. And it does show that there's an interest in the music. So that's important. So, I mean, it's a W for black music. And I think we got to just kind of leave it at that. But was it Long Maynard? Yeah. Was it over, was Erykah a little late? Yeah.
Well, she was waiting for 400,000. She was like, I'm not coming on until we get 400,000 people.
I'm just saying, Erykah looked like she was about to mess around and be like, doing some seances or some psychic readings or something, now, dude.
But that's Erykah. That's how she gets down. You know what I'm saying? So I think people tuned in for that. They might have wanted her to get it like a chicken foot and put it in a pot and squeeze some blood or something.
Chicken foot?
Isn't that what they do? Get the chicken and cut the foot. And squeeze the. You know how you get chicken wings?
You ain't never had chicken foot soup?
You don't get chicken wings by taking out my cut of chicken foot.
Lamont, you ain't never had chicken foot soup?
No, God, no.
Chicken foot soup. Where you get that from?
No.
In the West Indies, chicken foot soup is a real thing.
Yeah.
Well, no disrespect, but we don't play. No, man, we don't do that.
Not doing that. We gotta. Speaking of, black music, we lost 3 amazing people over the weekend that contributed to black music. Little Richard, Betty Wright, and Andre Harrell. I mean, all contributed to, music, period. And they say they come in threes, but dang, those were 3, dynasties, that actually went to the next life on us. And, that was just very hard. Lamont, let me start with you, because I know that you work with Andre, Harrell. What was, your relationship like with him, and what did it mean for you to see him pass away?
Well, it's no secret that actually my first check in the record business came from a guy named Jeff Thomas, signed by Andre Harrell, and that's when I lived down south. I mean, this was back in like 1993. I had an opportunity to, when I was just graduating from college. That's why I kind of was a little, and I get it, when I hear them always talk about how he discovered Puff. I mean, there were a lot of black men that he gave opportunities to, me included. You know what I mean? There were a lot of
white men too.
Say again?
White men too.
White men too, but I'm just gonna go with the black right now. I'm on my black power this podcast, but I just feel like, in terms of this music thing, he inspired a lot, and good dude. Shout to his brother George. That's my man, 50 grand. It's like, his mom is still, here with us, so peace and blessings to his mother, you know what I mean? And all the other people that he touched, man. Good dude. That's all you can say about Dre.
Andre Harrell was one of the first people to discover Robin Thicke as well.
Was that? I didn't know that story. I feel like I read that, but I didn't know that. I mean, I'm not surprised. Now, did that have something to do with the New York Undercover?
Bicycle in the city?
With the who?
Remember the first video he had with the bicycle in the city? He was riding around on the bike in the city. Gotta Google that one.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh, Robin was in that?
It is Robin. It's not in it.
No. What song? What do you? Wait. Let me go back.
Go back to Robin Thicke's very first song where he's riding the bike through New York.
I hate to tell you this, I didn't really rock with him like that till I saw what's the wife's name, Maynard? The pretty one?
Paula Patton.
Yeah, I didn't really. I know he was the son of.
Robin Thicke he's had at least 2 banging albums. I mean, I can't front on it. He's had.
The versus battle.
When
Robin
I Get
Thicke
You
is like
Alone
Red Beans and
is the
Rice.
name of
You know
the
what I'm saying?
song,
It's an
according to
acquired
Frank
taste,
Williams.
bro. You know what I
Frank
mean?
Williams said it's When I Get You Alone. That's the name of that song.
Thank you, Frank.
So if he had to do a versus, would it be him and John B?
No.
Who?
I wouldn't
Robin
mind
Thicke?
seeing him and John Legend, though.
I'm good on Robin Thicke. I get it, but I'll
Robin Thicke
pass.
is banging.
All right, let's get into Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
The Andre Harrell thing. I think more than anything, what he did with Uptown when Uptown came out is it was the balance, right? There was Def Jam, and then this Uptown thing came, and Def Jam had been straight down the middle. God bless it. It's not an issue. But Uptown was fun, right? I mean, the star of the label, at one point was Heavy D. People don't give Heavy his props, but he was the star of the label before Mary came on, before Father MC, before Jodeci. Was it Jeff Red? Jeff Red.
Actually, I think Jeff might have preceded Heavy a little bit, but and you also got to remember, Guy was on Uptown as well.
Guy was on Uptown. So, exactly. So the New Jack Swing is as much as important as it was for Teddy to produce what is the New Jack Swing sound. Uptown employed that sound across the board. It was Uptown employed that sound on Father MC's albums. What do people forget about Father? Uptown employed that sound on all those different albums, and that changed what a portion of the hip hop game was. The Al B. Shore stuff.
Wait,
and all
man!
that.
You can't forget about Finesse and Quest now. You can't forget about Finesse. That was my people. Yeah. So again, it's a lot of history, but just to add on to that, because you still don't want to, minimalize, if that's the right word, the whole Little Richard thing, because I remember hearing the stories and reading the books and just like Little Richard was that dude. Like Little Richard was the one that gave Elvis his swag. You know what I mean? Like Elvis was like, yo, I want to be like that black dude. So you got to give, Little Richard his love as well in terms of what he brought to this whole music thing, that came for generations to come, because I also read that James got his thing from Little Richard. You feel what I'm saying?
Jimi Hendrix,
the whole
Mick Jagger.
Mick, that's the one I was going to say. Mick Jagger, all Mick Jagger's mannerisms and all that kind of stuff, all that comes directly from Little Richard. And Little Richard is credited as being the father of rock and roll. Without Little Richard,
architect, not father, architect. Okay, but without Little Richard, there very well is no rock and roll that we know of today. But they all took, and the people who took, like Lamont said, you said like Elvis, and another person that really influenced Elvis was Jackie Wilson. I mean, he stole Jackie Wilson's whole swag. But Elvis and the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. They took Little Richard. Pat Boone, every song that Pat Boone had was Little Richard's song. He just redid it and just, did a different...
Put white sauce on it. White sauce on it.
So Little Richard is...
You can say, come on, man, I'm telling you, we're going to get to the cactus and then my feelings, yes. We can put the white sauce on it today.
Right. And I think while we are in the same breath, just thinking about who we've lost so far this year and why 2020 is just... we lost Kobe. We lost Bill Withers. We lost Betty Wright. We lost Little Richard. We lost, Andre Harrell. What is going on, man? Not to mention the, 80,000 people, close to 80,000 people that we've lost to the coronavirus. Ridiculous.
So Spud, can I do one thing? Because I gotta send a threat to somebody.
Whoa!
So I get No, yeah, I don't do it on the show.
Hold on. Do we need a disclaimer first, Bud? Can you give a disclaimer?
No. This is a straight threat.
This threat is not the views and opinions of three black guys with the mic.
So I get an email, and it's the threat that goes to that Nigerian that sent me an email, and in the subject line it says, "From Vanessa Bryant." You know how you get those emails about, you send me your banking information, and it said that, this is Vanessa Bryant, and this is on behalf of the Kobe Bryant Foundation. Give me your name and your address and your bank account number, and I'm gonna send you $500,000. I'm like, come on, Mr. Nigerian man with the email. Did y'all get one of those?
No, I didn't get that.
No, that's my word. I got one yesterday.
Well, I'm still waiting on them to hit my money up. I don't know what's. You saying I shouldn't have done that? That was a bad.
No, not with Kobe's name on it, yo.
Oh shit.
No, that's whack, bro. God bless the dead Kobe Bryant. You don't do that, Mr. Nigerian man. All right, I'm cool. Cause I'm hot today, man. Real talk. Come on, go ahead.
I want to just kind of go back to Little Richard real quick, because this is important as we segue into, racism and, police brutality and so forth and so on. It's really unfortunate how, he was on with David Letterman, and he was talking about how the white owners and the record labels, made him put on makeup and lipstick, because if he came out as a black male, then it would scare away white people. He was welcoming to white America when he had on makeup and he had on lipstick, and he would, dance around and wop bop doo wop bamboo. But when he was just a physical black male, his own self, then they did not even want to even acknowledge him. They didn't want to even be a part of, the show or the act, which is really unfortunate. But that is what emasculating black men is about, and that's what they do. Let's go into Ahmad Arbery. I mean, the police brutality with, Ahmad, that's not even police brutality, but Ahmad Arbery, Sean Reed, I'm just going to open it up and let you guys just go ahead and just give your opinion on when you saw both of those tapes, Sean Reed being shot over a dozen times by the police, and Ahmad Arbery being shot by two white men who basically hunted him down. What are your feelings on that?
Lamont got a big smile on his face. I want to hear what he got
to
say.
No, because I'm holding it in. No. You go, Maynard. You go. Because I don't
even really want to discuss it, man. I just feel like we're here all the damn time. And when I thought about this, when I watched the tape, I was physically shaken. My body shook. I was upset, and because that's that man's life, right? And so to lay it out for people, where they really, and a lot of people have heard the story or have seen the news accounts, seen the video, whatever the case may be. But let's lay out the story for a second, and that is, this guy is jogging, and maybe he's running from this home, because they found nude footage with him actually walking onto the unfinished home, the home that was under construction, and he walked onto the property. Yes, he did. And then he left. He didn't take anything. He in fact didn't touch anything other than his feet touching the ground. And he left. And the home is really very much under construction. Like there's no carpet, there's no lights. It's just studs. And he's jogging down the street. And if you watch the video, someone obviously is behind him shooting video. And you see these two men parked in the middle of the street, ambush style, and they have weapons. He's by himself. He's there alone. His mother, his father, his brothers or sisters or anybody who would be on his team, no one's there for him. And he encounters these two white men ambushing him in the middle of the street with weapons. White man, when you got in your truck to drive there with your son and you grabbed your guns, you intended to shoot that man. That was premeditated. When you stopped in the middle of the street and said, he is not going to get past me, you intended to kill that man. And when you put him in a position where he had to either run for his life or fight for his life, you took away the option for him to do anything else. In his mind, he only can think, I only can do, I can run and they're going to shoot me in the back, or I can fight and maybe I might live. But at the end of the day, you put him in a position where it's fight or flight, and that is a natural response. You only have two options, because you damn sure ain't going to be begging a motherfucker for your life who doesn't even own your life to give to you. And that's...
Lamont?
Have it.
Well, I got a question for you guys. This is something I learned just the other day. And just, see, Maynard, my thing is that this is deeper than what we understand. Have you ever heard the term free, white, and 21?
Yes.
Have you ever heard that term, Spud?
I have not.
So I hadn't heard it either until a few days ago. But I guess in movies back in the 30s and 40s, that was like a phrase that was used that just emphasized your whiteness, you being of age, and you just being free. And when I hear these stories about the police, I just think about, what a police, and this is like not a diss to police, because I got people that's my people that's the police. They're friends of the podcast that's the police. But the reality is that the history of the police is that they're slave catchers. They were the ones that were put in place. And Maynard, tell me where I'm wrong, where I'm messing this up, is that's what's embedded in that mentality of that police mentality. And it's like, I say it most of the time on this podcast, and it's not a joke. Yo, dog, they trying to kill us. Like the slave catchers tried to kill us back in the day. It's just in certain parts of this country, and I've said this before too, they don't know that it's 2020, bruh. They don't.
Well, let's say this. Let's understand a couple of pieces. First of all, is a home that he trespassed on, and he did. That happened.
Yeah, but Maynard, you keep trying to use logic with people who are illogical.
Hold on, Lamont.
You're trying to use 2020 thinking. You're trying to use a rule of law that still believe in the free, white, and 21 concept.
I got you. I'm just explaining some things, because we're going to talk about, in a minute, we're going to talk about somebody, a Candyland reject in a little while, and I want to make sure that we set this up properly. Candyland, of course, as you know, was the plantation that Steven was on that Django had to go rescue his woman from.
Come on now.
So Candyland, just remember that. But let's say he trespassed on his property, is under construction. So when's the last time a property that you know of was under construction that had flat screen TVs or diamonds in it? There were none. So the idea that this guy is some kind of burglar going into a home that's under construction is lunacy. You don't keep flat screen TVs. That's A. B, he's jogging down the street. There's not a car of his that he's jogging to. He's not making a quick getaway. You don't see anything in his hands. So what crime actually has occurred here that requires these men to exact what they consider justice against him? And then lastly, I agree and I believe that people are going to fail me, right? There are going to be people who are racist. There are going to be people who are going to hate gay people. There are going to be people who are black people. There are going to be people who hate people who are left-handed. Of course, I'm left-handed. There are going to be people who hate all types of folks. But that's not the problem. And I know that that's going to happen. The problem is when the tape so clearly shows that these people shot and killed, lynched this man. No one said, at the very least, we should hold these men overnight. We should keep them and do an investigation. No, they sent them home. They basically took Ahmad Arbery and they left him as roadkill, like he was a skunk or a raccoon on the side of the road. And the only thing I can say is God bless the family for having these pictures of him. Because if we didn't have these pictures of him, they would find some picture of Ahmad Arbery that is unflattering, that paints him in a negative light. But thank God, and I just want to encourage mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, if you have a black man in your family, get a good picture of him, because God forbid something should happen. You want these kind of pictures to be the images that the world sees.
It is really unfortunate, man. when I watched Sean Reed's tape, and I was like, the first thing I said to my wife was, can you hear how many times they shot at the boy? Mm-hmm. Like they just kept shooting at the boy. They just kept shooting him. And we are beyond the conversation of, oh, police officers need training, and, police officers need to learn how to go have a new manual, and all of this. This is the stupid stuff. And this is literally about white privilege. In Detroit, the Royal Low Commissioner went into Meijer to the grocery store and stole. They walked her out of the store. They didn't walk her out in handcuffs. They didn't arrest her. They didn't do anything except for walk her out of the store and say, thank you, have a fantastic day. The only punishment she got was embarrassment, and that was being on the news. She didn't get no jail time. She wasn't thrown to the floor. It wasn't a knee in her back. It wasn't a gun pointed to her. These are the things that are so unfortunate when we talk about race in America, and it all just continues to boil down to fear of black men. Black people in general.
Spud, that's not new, Spud. They were fearful when we first came to the shore, my brother.
Of course.
No, that's bull. That's bull.
It's not, Maynard. No, it's
that's
not.
bull.
No, it's not.
They brought us to the shore. They weren't fearful for us when we came to the shore. We didn't come to the shore. They stole us to the shore. They weren't fearful when they went into Africa and stole all those damn black people when they came and they got us.
You get that W. You get the W for that one. You got that.
They weren't scared when they showed up with guns and talking about their white Jesus and put us on boats and brought us over and beat the shit out of us. They ain't afraid. They feign like they're hateful. That's some hate shit.
No, I agree with that. But they are definitely afraid of black men. No question about that. They got some fear going on for black men. It's not even a question about that. Let's move on to, how we protect ourselves and what do we do moving forward, right? Because this is no different than Tamir Rice, Trayvon Martin. I mean, we could go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Back to, strange fruit. What do we do about this situation? Charlemagne the God, he was on with Shopton, and he was on MSNBC, and he was saying that black men or black people need to get guns, and we need to legally protect ourselves. Is that something you guys agree with or no? Maynard?
I don't disagree with it. I'm not a fan of guns, partly because I'm afraid of what I might do. I know my temper, and I shouldn't have a gun. But I do believe that people need to have that many people should have the right to protect themselves and defend themselves. But in these instances, particularly Ahmad Arbery's instance, we can't. There's nothing that we can do.
I think that it's worse for us to be walking down, and I get to the point. I get the point that we need to be protective of ourselves, but I just think that it creates more issue if we have to always walk around with a piece on us, with a firearm.
I agree. One of the things that was said in this Ahmad Arbery situation was the guy said, I think I saw him the other day, and he put his hand in his waistband, which led me to believe that he had a gun. Yeah, right. And he also has Second Amendment rights, too. He has a right. If he did have a gun, which he did not, he had the right to have a gun. You had a gun.
Right. Lamont?
I'm from Detroit. Having a firearm legally is a way of life. I mean, I've had a CCW the whole time I was legally of age. In the state of New Jersey, it's very hard to obtain those kind of licenses, but it's all of who you know, and just know I'm good. I mean, I'm a hunter. You come to my doorstep, you're going to get hunted. So I'm with it. You want to come see me? I got something for you. And we got money in the account. The lawyers will take care of the rest. So I know the law. Let's get busy. Period.
Okay. All right. Should we go to Lamont and his feelings? Is Lamont in his feelings?
I'm in my feelings about a lot of stuff, bro. You ready, Boehner? I don't want to steal none of your thunder because I don't want to step on none of your toes. I'm hoping I'm not going to where you going because I want to be happy. But
take off, my dude. It's all you.
Her name is Candace Owens.
Candyland's
if you don't
finest.
know who Candace Owens is, then just Google the foolishness. I'm really in my feelings about Candace. Went on a rant on the internet yesterday, talking about Ahmad, talking about how he had on khaki shorts, and talking about how LeBron James has a white chef, and talking about how black men are not being hunted. And I'm just in my feelings because I think Candace Owens is a cancer. I think Candace, with her brown skin, a lot of people buy into it. A lot of people who are not black are saying, you know what, she's right. This is one of Donald Trump's, one of her black ones, and just Candace is just bad. She's just she just has this platform, you know, even with her live. I think she's up to like 4 million people. And it just scares me to death that people are listening to Candace Owens. So I'm just in my feelings just about Candace and how she has zero experience in being a black person in America. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's some young lady that lives up in Connecticut with her husband who isn't this. And Spud, you're going to beat me up for even bringing that up. But I think that's important because I just don't know if she's ever had an experience being, again, a black person in America, a black male in America, I think. So I'm just in my feelings about Candace, bro. Like, we know what we do to cancer, and it's like, she's a cancer, bro. She's like, and I'm not talking about the zodiac sign. I'm talking like the bad cell in your body, bro. She's just like bad. And it hurts my heart, man. Like, when I saw that from that black girl, I was like, we really in trouble out here, man. We in trouble.
So, can I get some of that, Lamont? Because I'm particularly perturbed by Candyland's bedwench, Candace Owens. This Stephen ass.
Yeah, this is the angriest podcast we've ever done.
Let's think about. She is advocating essentially that you, the three of us, black men, and our sons, our brothers, that our lives are worthless. So I have zero respect for her. Zero. I have only disdain for her. At first, I thought she was funny because I thought she was playing and I thought she was out here trying to sell herself. And I was like, okay, you know what? She's a sellout for selling out for just getting money. She doesn't believe this. She believes this. She believes this. And her rhetoric and the way she speaks and how she talks, particularly to those audiences that are lapping it up, because remember, they are so desirous of having a black person co-sign on their life. And when they say, we think that blacks are lazy and da-da-da-da, and so on and so forth, and then she comes and says, you're right. That's the only thing they've been waiting for. And it's dangerous. When she had some facts and figures on her Twitter page, most of which were inaccurate, where she said the black people kill black people more than white people kill black people. And I'm not disputing that.
Whoa, man. No. She also said on her live that more blacks kill whites than whites kill whites. She said that.
So white people who might be watching, let me just say, nobody wants to kill you. We don't want to kill you. Your husband, white women, that's who more than likely is going to be the person that kills you. If you are murdered, white women are more likely going to be murdered by their husbands or by their boyfriends than a black man. We're not interested in killing you, okay? But with Candace's rhetoric, it's dangerous for our children to be in the streets because of her, because she co-signs on this bull.
Okay.
Do we have some happy talk coming?
Yes.
Is there any?
Real quick, let's just kind of, dive. Let's just take a quick little side, detour to BWP Marketing, bwpmarketing.com, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you go by. If you're a recording artist, if you are a rapper, you're a producer or a singer or whatever, and you want to get into the world of music, you got to go to bwpmarketing.com. Lamont is the head of that business and that company, and he will help you out with taking your music career to the next level. Lamont, if you can, explain some of the things that you do and your team does over at BWP Marketing to be able to help artists take their career to the next level.
Well, everything is COVID-19. Like we talked earlier about Jill Scott and Erykah Badu, all of our clients currently, and even the ones we have in the queue, it's about trying to figure out how do you navigate this COVID-19. A lot of artists are not able to travel. They're not able to do the things that they were able to do several months ago. So what we do now is focusing a lot of our efforts on how do we navigate that new landscape, whether it's online strategy, whether it's still, because everything will open up sooner or later, because we do have some things actually in place where we're dealing with some clients that are kind of cutting some deals for some things, that are happening over the next several months. So again, it's all about navigating the new landscape. And that's exactly what it is that we do at BWP Marketing. So if you want to get more information, go straight to the website, www.bwpmarketing.com. Click the contact tab, fill out the information in the subject line, put in 3 Black Guys with the Mic. We have a little something special we'll email right to you that will help you start with this new navigation of this COVID-19 and, what it means for new musicians, indie musicians on, just how to navigate this new climate. So again, the website is www.bwpmarketing.com. Click the contact tab, fill it out. Again, it may not be me, but somebody will definitely get back with you. All right.
Cool. Well, we truly appreciate that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to move on to Care or Don't Care.
Can this be happy, please?
Or don't care, baby.
Can we please be happy? Happy?
Yes.
Happy.
So if you
I need a drink, man.
Happy. Live on YouTube, if you're watching us live on Facebook, we want you to, definitely give your input in the comments. Let us know if you care or if you don't care. These are the news stories that go on in the world that we either care about or we don't care about. So let's start off with the verses. There is now going to be a Ludacris and Nelly versus. Care or don't care? Lamont, you don't care about the verses, man.
Can you find 2 rappers that are lower in the GOAT discussion? I mean, let's be honest. They made good hits. Nelly had some really good hits. Ludacris had some good hits. Are they in your top 30?
Yeah, top 30. Yeah, Nelly. Come on now, man. Let's not get crazy. Top 20?
Hell no.
Stop.
I can name 20 artists ahead of them easily.
They had smashes, dude. I mean, I get where they're going, but it's like unsung right now. You know what I'm saying? It's like
too many episodes.
It's like no disrespect, because I got some homies that's been on unsung. You know what I mean? But I'm good.
No.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about that.
Tekashi 6ix9ine apologizes for being a snitch. Care or don't care?
Can I do it this time, Lamont?
Go ahead, Playboy.
Y'all don't care about it. The man had 2 million views on his Instagram Live.
Yo, I can say this. Go ahead, Lamont. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, again, I just want to be careful because I'm going to keep it a thou. You know what I'm saying? I got people that I know that are working with that project. And I'll just say that, it's a lot of muscle behind that. You know what I mean? You saw 20, 30 million views, but that just wasn't him sitting in his bedroom by himself. He has a very large machine. And here's my only issue with it, because I kind of like the record. I think the video looks good. But my issue is that the signal that it sends to young people. And the signal is this, is that you can go out here and do bad and be rewarded. You know what I mean? But that's all the way up to the White House. So that seems to be a reoccurring theme that I have a problem with, that this young 24-year-old can walk around with $1 million chain, and he just not do good things. You feel what I'm saying? So I just got a problem with that signal, with that dog whistle. Is that the right term, man?
My question is, how do you apologize for being a snitch? Either you're a snitch or either you're not a snitch. Either you're going to take one for the team or you're not going to take one for the team.
Did you listen to his apology?
Yeah, he was on the Instagram Live.
I don't think it was I think it was like a twist in his apology. He was like, "I'm sorry."
A little bit of a twist.
I'm sorry, but y'all weren't holding me down. Y'all tried to let me get kidnapped. Y'all did this, and y'all did that, and you think I was gonna hold you down?
So it's excuses for snitching,
huh?
There's excuses to snitching.
I mean, he's using an excuse for snitching. I mean, I don't believe in that. I believe I'm telling.
But I don't know if I'm mad at a 20-year-old for that part of the snitching. But he was telling on people he didn't even have to tell on. That had nothing to do with his situation. That's my problem.
Right.
Like, why are you naming everybody?
Do nothing.
Yeah, like Jimmy ain't had to do what you got going on.
Right.
Nikki and all that. Cardi had to do what you got going on.
Your Honor, I spoke to O.J. Simpson. He told me he did do it. I'm just telling you, let you know, Your Honor. And in addition to that, I'm going to let you know, I know exactly where Jimmy Hoffa is. And if you have any questions, I can help you find the ghost of Osama bin Laden.
Right. So that's my, like, yo, dog, like, you just throwing everybody under the bus because you where you at. But again, it's just, it's a cycle in the music business, in the business I'm in. And I mean, I'm not afraid to say it. It's bad. It's like bleach for our children, bro. Like, it's bad. It is. It's not good at all. No substance. None.
What about Greenleaf? Greenleaf is going away. Anybody care?
I'm gonna keep it 1,000. Which one is Greenleaf? That's the one with
That means you don't care.
No. Hold up. Because Tyler Perry, all his joints is the same.
This is not a Tyler Perry joint.
That's the one I own. Me and the wife watched that one.
It's on OWN, but it ain't a Tyler Perry.
That's the one with the Landrys, right? With the Landrys, with
the Sugar folks.
Yeah. I liked it. It was okay.
So you care it's going away?
Not really, because there's a lot of content out there. I can watch something else.
Greenleaf.
Man, and I know you care because you love black content. You hate when a black show goes off.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I was definitely not disappointed when they canceled. What was the thing? Aliens, Brothers from Outer Space, or whatever. A long time ago, I was not upset when they canceled Malcolm and Eddie. I wasn't upset when they canceled the Wayans Brothers, and I ain't upset when they canceling Greenleaf. They can take Greenleaf and let it turn brown.
No, Spud, I'm wrong. That's the church show, right? That's what they hoeing in the church.
Where has Lamont been?
That is the one where they hoeing in the church, right? Hold on.
Lamont.
What?
Hoeing in the church?
Yes, they hoeing in the church. They not hoeing in the church? In God's house?
When they, Jesus, and then they start twerking?
Yeah, they hoeing in the church. I got you. I'm sad because the lead character was cute. I liked her.
You sad because there's no more hoeing in the church?
Well, the cute lead. The lead is cute and she's gone. You know what I mean? Always looking distressed.
Yes. Thank you, Frank. It is time for a drink. Thank you so much. So, Barack Obama basically was like, who did he tell? I forgot who he told.
He was on a private call, right, Maynard?
On a private call. He was on the private call saying that the Trump administration is basically a disaster. It is chaotic. And the way that they handled this entire COVID-19 situation is a disaster. Both of you have to care.
Oh, no question. Look, hands down, B-Rock. Get some nuts. Let them hang. You hear me?
What is up with you in your mouth right now?
I can't say get some nuts, let them hang?
Yeah. Now, Frank, you can't talk about the president like that.
That's what he was doing. He was letting his nuts hang. He's like, listen, I'm getting ready to ride for my man, Joe Biden. I'm going to tell all my people. I'm going to hit the dog whistle. Woo!
That's what the dog whistle sound like?
The dog whistle?
That was a dog whistle.
Ooh.
You know you can't hear a dog whistle, right? A dog whistle.
Ooh.
Listen. This is what we need. Listen, on the quiet, but he's doing it his way. He's talking real slick to Donald. He get him the signal like, yo, dog, you want a box? I got something for you. I'm going to let you know that Joe Biden got some cut men that's going to take care of him. Be good.
Yeah, but Joe Biden isn't going to do anything, then it's not going to matter. Joe's silent, man. He's silent.
Supposed to be. You got to let your shooters take care of the shot work. You know what I'm saying?
If you let your shooters take care of the shot work, then why am I hiring you? I might as well hire the shooters.
Because that's a game that we play in 1600, bro. Come on now.
Yeah, that is true. We've always had this, but I don't think it's going to be an issue because Joe is out with new ads. Joe's hitting the pavement, and Joe he's busy. He's getting busy. He hit him with a pretty strong ad that's helped him raise some X millions, 4 or 5 millions in like 2 days. So he's out here, man. And Joe's numbers are tremendous at this, as Donald Trump would say. His numbers are huge. They're tremendous. And I've not.
We all know polls don't mean anything.
That's the only scientific data we got at this point.
True, but we all thought that Hillary Clinton was going to win too, and see what we got.
See, there y'all go, going back to Hillary.
I'm not going back to Hillary, but that was facts.
Listen.
All the polls said that Hillary was going to win.
Listen.
And now we dealing with the Triznae.
You know what? Shout out to Linda Finney. Linda Finney is a fan of the podcast. And she talks about Lil Scrappy all the time in his language. Scrappy the guy. But here's the deal. And Maynard helped me. The playbook hasn't changed. We got to worry about 3 things. I'm with you at the polls. Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. At the end of the day, Hillary dropped the ball in them 3 spots. We're going to play this game. We're going to do all this other foolishness. But when it get down to brass tacks, we're going to get on the ground. We're going to make sure we get it popping in them 3 states. And we hope and pray that Donald Trump leaves in January. Because he might not.
Right. And you're right. Michigan, critical. Very much, very critical. Hillary, in fact, lost Michigan to Bernie Sanders in the primary. 73-10. Bernie Sanders beat her up.
So hold on, Maynard, 1 second. I'm sorry. So Spud, all of that clown-ish with the big Gretch and the buffs and all of that, you go tell them suckers to go make sure that they take care of the rest of Michigan, where everybody buck dancing at Rouge Park, talking about we're going to do the big Gretch, looking like some buffoons. Can we make sure that when it come go time that we get the state in line? Can we do that?
I'm sure we can answer that question. That answer is going to be no.
Spud, you have little faith in your brethren. I
don't. I'm willing to. I don't even want to put no accusations out there. I don't think that the people who have streamed and download Big Gretch will show up at the polls, if we're even able to show up at the polls. Well, and they damn sure not gonna mail it in.
So let's talk about what we do know. What we do know is, like I said, Hillary lost in the primaries to Bernie in the state of Michigan. Bernie had 73 of 83 counties. Joe took all 83 of those counties against Bernie. So that shows that at least we picked the candidate that actually won Michigan. He's leading in Michigan by, I think today, like almost double digits. If it's not 9, then maybe 10. He's leading in Pennsylvania, which is his home turf. He was born in Scranton. He lives in Delaware and Wilmington. That's his neck of the woods. I don't think that he's going to have a problem there. And Wisconsin, North Carolina, in fact, is in play. And in fact, Florida, which is always somehow fool's gold for just about anybody who wants to bet on it, seems to be in play as well. Not to mention that there's some challenges in the Senate race in Texas and in other places. There may be 5 or 6 Senate seats that are really in a desperate scenario. And if we move 3 of those Senate seats, we tie them in the House. So nobody can do it. If we move 4, it's the Democrats' ball game at that point. So what we have to do is just stay on that. Now, what scientific information can we say is going to point to the fact that that the Democrats should win? That there are more Democrats now in the House of Congress, the House of Representatives. Because what you should just know is the number of electoral college votes and the number of people in Congress plus Senate is the same number. Because there are more right now in the House of Representatives, you can extrapolate that information and say, okay, we think this is the way it's going to go. There are more Democratic governors right now. And so that also, those are statewide elections. So just looking at the science, Joe should be safe. He shouldn't take it in and off. He got to play all the innings. Say
the safe word, man. We got to keep.
He got to play all the innings. He got to do a Michael Jordan. You know, Michael was like, "Yeah, we up by 10. I want to win by 36." He's got to. That's what he's got to do.
Whack, by the way, and no, I didn't watch it. No.
You hater.
He's whack to me.
You hater.
Okay. Okay, we're almost out of time. Let's get to the cactus, ladies and gentlemen. This is where somebody said something very stupid and they got to choke on their words. Maynard, who are you giving to the cactus? Who are you giving the cactus to this week, my man?
This week, this clown right here, Jason Whitlock, gets the cactus. Now, Jason Whitlock is famous for being controversial, particularly where African Americans are concerned. He is a sports broadcaster, for those who don't know, on Fox Sports. Jason Whitlock also, let's just back up and just say he is a failed announcer. He was given an opportunity at ESPN to run a show and a website, The Undefeated. He blew that. They had to fire him because he sucked at that. But moving forward, he said LeBron is the Pied Piper for a lot of athletes. If the goal is to promote justice for Ahmaud, LeBron's rhetoric doesn't promote justice. It promotes emotion and fear, the enemies of justice. We can continue to promote emotion and fear, or we can seek justice. Jason, you spend your time, every time a black athlete goes to the mic and leads in a space where we really have not had leadership from black athletes since the days of Muhammad Ali. But every time a black athlete goes to the mic and leads, you always want to find a way to put some kind of chink in their armor. You want to say it's not your space to say. You basically are doing exactly what Laura Ingraham did, talking about shut up and dribble. You make your money exclusively on the backs of black athletes. If there were no black athletes, they wouldn't put your black ass on TV. I feel like you spend so much time and energy shooting at African-American artists that today, you, sir, get the cactus. You're welcome to dine on our finest cactus.
All right, Jason Whitlock, cactus bound.
Did you catch all that, Bud?
Yeah, I did.
Did we talk about that in the production meeting? Because I might have fell asleep.
You contacted me today, Spud.
I was like,
you contacted me today, right?
Yeah, but I was like, yeesh.
But I wasn't in that production meeting, man. I mean, we gotta we wrap this up. We gotta have another production meeting.
Let me go back to the drawing board and put my stuff together.
Like,
yeesh. No, that looked very fancy, sir.
Oh, you like it? How about one more time?
Very fancy.
Did you notice my cactus? Did you notice my cactus was rolling around? Look at the cactus. Look at the cactus.
I was like, wow, you got the spinning cactus and everything.
Wow.
Wow.
I need to talk to the
production team. Wow.
Yo, Lamont. Danielle Scott said Flash is real disrespectful. I think she talking about you.
Flash.
You Flash, Gordon.
I think she need to chill. What we had in the show, huh?
Frank says that you a hater, my dude. You hating on Michael Jordan.
of Three Black Guys with the Mic. We need a favor. We need the biggest favor that you could do us. It is extremely important for you to go to YouTube. Bing! Give us a thumbs up. Just hit the subscribe button. Take your finger. Hit subscribe for new episodes. We are live every Monday at 7 p.m. We have an exclusive interview coming up this week, this Thursday, with Cynthia McKinney, as we talk about COVID-19. We talk about Black in America. What else do we talk about with Cynthia McKinney? Politics. We talk deep about politics with Cynthia McKinney on Thursday.
About her history of, which I didn't know, of her growing up in Atlanta and her dad being the first police officer in the city of Atlanta back when the Atlanta child murders were going on. You know what I mean?
Yes. 9/11, you know, how she spoke out about 9/11 and the conspiracies behind 9/11 is an extremely deep interview. Make sure you join us again on Thursday for Facebook Live. We need you to do one favor on your own personal page. Share this episode with, you know, your friends. Share it with your family members. Share it with whoever. All the people that you have following you, share it so that way we can continue to grow the podcast. We can introduce this podcast to new people. Make sure you hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up on Facebook as well as on YouTube. Also go to soundcloud.com/Three Black Guys with the Mic. Subscribe to our SoundCloud channel as well as our iTunes channel, iTunes podcast. Rate and review us on iTunes. That's how we continue to grow, and we're seen by more people. The more you rate and review the podcast, the more that we're seen by more people. So thank you guys so very much for checking this episode out. We will do it again tomorrow. This full episode drops on iTunes and YouTube and SoundCloud, so you can also get it there as well. Have a fantastic night. Peace and chicken grease. Be safe. Be safe out there. This is a time where you need to definitely stay home and stay safe. You don't know who's out there in those streets. So have a great night. We talk to y'all again next week. Thank you. Peace.